probably studying law, and we go to school to study different things with an objective of being able to come out, find a job, and then through the job be able to make some money. But I found out that there is no system in place all throughout our developmental process whereby people actually devote time to study money itself. What it is and how to get it in abundance. So you find that there are a lot of people that are academically educated, but they are financially uneducated. They go to school to study a lot of numbers, but they don't know anything about money. So we can say they are educated academically, but they are illiterate when it comes to money, what money is, how money behaves, and how to make money come to you. I found out that the fact that you have a degree does not automatically guarantee you that you will be rich. Come on, we have a lot of poor doctors. Hello. There are a lot of lawyers that cannot buy a car. There are a lot of accountants that are broke. Yours will not be like that, all right? Are you following this? There are a lot of engineers that cannot even afford, to pay the bowler. Are you following this? They can't afford to pay the bowler. So it begins to raise up a lot of questions, and that is the fact that going to school alone is not all it takes to become financially free. You need to know about money. You need to understand its behavior. You need to be able to learn the principles that governs money, and then know how to make it come to your house in abundance. Now, what we call money, I don't know if anybody has any notes here, like 10 rand, 20 rand, 50 rand, to borrow me. Just borrow me. Here we go. You got one, thank you. This is, what do you call it? This is 10 rands, right? Okay, it's called money. In some other understanding, it's called currency. You know that, okay? Now, why is it called currency? What? Yes, it's a medium of exchange, but that's not why it is called currency. If you look at the word currency is gotten from anything that flows, anything that has currents. Are you following this? Like in physics, there is what is called currents that flows through the wires. All right? It flows through the wire into a light bulb and makes the light bulb to bring light. Come on. Now, currents are designed to move, to flow through circuits. You can never find, for instance, an electrical current flowing in the air. Come on. If you find one flowing in the air, it can kill people. Because electricity can shock you to death if it's flowing in the air. Are you following me? Come on, everybody. You need to understand, because I want to show you something about money. Electricity is designed to flow in through cables that are very well insulated. Why are they insulated? They are insulated to protect it from killing people. All right? But for it to flow, it has to flow through circuits, and you move into physical devices where it can solve problems. Like this light now, electricity is flowing into it because it has to do a job for us of giving illumination to this hall. Now, one of the things you're going to find about electricity is that it only flows when there is a problem to be solved. Like, if you put on your television, electricity flows into the box and then it comes on. All right? If you take your iron, you want to iron, you switch it on. What happens is, when you switch it on, electricity flows into it and then make the iron hot, and then you can iron your clothes with it. Electricity never flows except it is flowing to go and solve a problem or do something. Now, money is called currency because, like currents in an electrical circuit, money does not flow in the air. Firstly, money flows. Money is designed to flow like water in a river. Are you following this? Money is not something like, for instance, if you look at this money now, this money has Nelson Mandela's face on it. It doesn't have your face on it, even though it's in your hands right now. What? Oh, this is your grandfather. Beautiful. So it has your grandfather's face on it, not yours. You see, if you check the money with you now, it doesn't have your face on it. Yours probably doesn't have your grandfather's face on it. Why is it that money does not carry people's faces branded to them? Because there is no money in your hands now that will remain in your hands permanently. This money now is going to leave your hands, most likely before the end of today. Maybe even in this class today, who knows? Why? Because it's like currents. It flows. Money was designed to flow. It was designed to move from one person to another. Money is not designed to stick around in people's purses permanently. Are you following me? Now, this money, nobody knows how many places this money has been to before it came to your house, to your hands. But I'm sure if we analyze and ask this 10 rand, can you please tell us all the places you have been to before you came to, what's your name, my dear? Sorry? Short form. Slave. What? Slave. Snake. Angel, thank you. Can I call you Angel? I prefer that one. Sorry. Now, if we ask this morning now, how many places have you been to before you came to Angel's house? What do you think to say? What? Now, I'm telling you, if you take a 200 rand note and I take a 10 rand note, if you ask them 200 rand, where have you been to before you came here? If they tell you I've been to Sante, I've been to Cape Town, and then if you ask 5 rand, excuse me, where have you been to? If they tell you I've been to Gipswood. Sorry about this. I'm just trying to be humorous, alright? Now, what I just want you to see is that money moves. Can everybody say money moves? Money moves. Come on, say it like you are here this afternoon. Say money moves. Money moves. The one in your hands right now is ready to move. It will move. It will likely move to pick and pay, or to the taxi for those who use public transport for transportation, or it will move to MTN if you're using MTN for your phone, airtime, or it may move to your hairstylist for the ladies that love to do their hair every week. I mean, imagine how much money has moved from that our sister's hand, to her hairstylist. I mean, look at the beautiful hair. I'm sure that hair must have cost you like how much? 30 rands. 130, sorry. Why did you shout? It's 30 rands too cheap. Now think about it. 130 rands moved from her to somebody who could fix her hair in such a nice way that right now we all like what we see. But you see, we like what we see, but something has left our hands called money. Now, financially intelligent people are those who know how to make more money move to them than moves away from them. Financially unintelligent people find themselves in a situation where all the money in their hands are always leaving their hands to the next person's hand. Either by the things they have to buy, the things they have to, and you name it. Money doesn't stay in their hands, it just leaves. Are you following this? And one of the key things you need to understand about prosperity and being financially free is once you understand the behavior of money, then you can make it come to your house a lot. Who's a poor man? A poor man is simply somebody to whose house this money doesn't visit. This money is visiting a lot of people's houses in large volumes. A poor man is a person that in his or her house, money doesn't come there. It doesn't pass through your house. It goes to everybody's house but your house. And if money, because this money, like we said earlier, has been to many places. But the question is, why doesn't it come to your house? All right? That's what we want to find out. If money goes to people's houses, what makes it go there? Are you following this? What makes it move if money moves? What makes it, leave the bank account where it is, or what will make it move into your bank account? That's what we want to find out. And in physics, Isaac Newton propounded certain laws, which is actually the foundation for what we are sharing on the physics of money. You know that in physics, for those of us that are not, you didn't do physics at any stage, let me just explain a little bit something to you, all right? You know that this table, as it is here, come on, are we together? Talk to me, please. This table will remain here next week on this same position. Is that correct? If we probably come back here in another 2 months' time, this table, because it's fixed to the floor, will likely still be here. Is that correct? If you come back in 6 months' time, this table will still be here. All right? The chances are it will still be here. All right? The only time you will come to this hall and not find this table in this position is if something moved it from this position. Either somebody pushed it and broke it off, or there's, maybe they loosed it out and carried it out. Are you following this? Now, in physics, it simply states this, that every object remains in a state of rest or uniform motion except acted upon by an external force. If you park your car in the garage, that car will remain in that garage, except you go inside and kick the engine, and then the engine rolls the tires and moves the car. A physical building like this is going to remain here for God knows how long, until a force either demolishes it or takes it away. Now, it was one of the laws of Isaac Newton that governs the principles of motion, that every object remains in a state of rest. Every physical thing stays where they are, except something forces it to act against its natural resting place. Now, in money terms, this simply means this. The money that is not in your wallet will remain outside of your wallet. The money that is not in your bank account will not come into your bank account except a force moves it into your bank account. Legal force, all right? Not just any force. Are you following what I'm talking about? Because there are many types of forces. Are you there? It simply states that the money in your hand right now, like this money, one of the important things about this is that it's one of the most protected objects. Right now, if you look around you, can you see money? Just look. Do you see anybody's money? Why? Because like electricity, you cannot see electricity in the air. Like currents, don't see it in the air. In fact, once you see it in the air, you quickly take it and insulate it. Once you see money in the air, you quickly insulate it. You quickly insulate it. That, like the way electricity is insulated in those wires covered, that's exactly how you treat money when you see it. Are you following this? Now, in Isaac Newton's laws of motion, he made this statement that the money that you don't have now will not automatically come to your house because you are in school. Something needs to make it come. It's called force in physics. In money terms, it's called potential. You need to have a potential to be able to attract money into your life. You need to have something that can make the money in my hands move to you now. Have you ever noticed that sometimes when you are broke and you're almost crying because you are broke, it's not that money suddenly became scarce on earth. What the problem is the fact that money is not in your hands, okay? But it's likely in the hands of the next persons around you. Like, who knows now how many people are broke here today? Perhaps there are 1 or 2 persons that are broke. Hello? But you know that when you look at yourself and you feel you're going through a traumatizing brokerage, it's not because money suddenly disappeared from Soweto. The truth is that it is in the hands of the next person to you. It is in the hands of the next guy sitting beside you. But your problem is, how do you get it from him without begging him? Or stealing it from him? But you see, the money that is in his hands will not leave his hands into your hands except you have the potential to attract it. In money terms, a potential is anything that you have that you can give in exchange for money. Anything that you have that can make somebody hand over his money to you. As a student, anything that you have that other students need that can make them collect their monthly allowance from their parents and then they hand over some of it to you. Are you following it? Many years ago, I was working in an office where I wasn't paid a lot of money. And in our office, we used to wear ties to work. So, because I didn't have a lot of money, I had to find a place where I could get ties to buy very cheap. So I stumbled into this place where I found very, very cheap ties. And so I bought them, and they were very colorful. And so I wore one of them to work. By the time I got to work, everybody was screaming about my tie. Wow, look at this tie. Where did you get it from? And the first person, normally when people say that, you just say thank you. When they appreciate your tie, you say thank you. Like they appreciate your hairstyle or your hairpiece or even your car. You say, oh, thank you. So I first said thank you to the first person. Then the next person asked, this tie, where did you get it from? And then another person asked me, and then he talked to me, everybody's asking about this tie. Instead of saying thank you, why not tell them I can supply them? And so, I went back to all the people that were so fascinated about my tie. I told them, no, actually this tie, I can get you the same. And it's not so expensive, but you will really like it. And all the people that like the tie, are you sure you can get it? I said, yeah, I can get it for you. I can get it for you. And so, I began to take tie orders. And let me give you like an idea of how much I was buying the ties. I was buying the ties for something as ridiculous as, let's say, 7 rands. And in the office, I was selling it for something of about 250 rands. Now, don't tell me it is wickedness. No, it is not wickedness. It is not wickedness. The truth is that, number one, you don't know where to get the ties. You want it because you see it, you like it. Are you there? And because you like it so much, your money must move to me. Now, the whole fabric of human life is built around people taking advantage of the needs in your life to make your money move to them. Are you following? And so, as it turned out, I supplied the first batch. After supplying the first batch, other people were like, wow, wow, wow. And then others began to increase. To the point whereby, at the end of every month, let me just assume that I'm earning 2,000 rands. And I have a lot of colleagues equally earning 2,000 rands like me. But out of their 2,000 rands, every month, I collect 250, 250, 250, 250, 250, 250. Now think about collecting 250 from 10 other colleagues of mine. 250 times 10, what do you have? 2,500. Don't forget, my salary is just 2,000. All right? And then, out of the 2,500, let's assume I use 7 times 10. 70, all right, to buy the product, which I sold to you, and made your money move to me. What is my profit? 2,500 minus 70. What do you call that? That's 2,430. So at the end of the month, I go home with 4,430. You are still on the level of 2,000 rand. Now, that is what it means to be financially intelligent. Are you following this? You know, many times people cry and say, well, oh no, you know, I need a miracle. Oh God, if God can just move to just give me a breakthrough. And there was a story of a crusade that was held by Rehan Bonke. I don't know how many of us know Rehan Bonke. Does anybody know Rehan Bonke here? Okay. Rehan Bonke is an evangelist that organizes big crusades, like the one they're doing on your school here, but the bigger scale. Where they use like the Orlando Pirates Stadium, you know, and the attendance of the crusade was something between 500,000 people and above. And many of the people that were going for that crusade, they were all going there to believe God for breakthrough. You know, one of the greatest problems most of us have is money. And if I ask you now, submit a prayer request, let us pray and talk to God. And God is going to move today. Most of our prayer requests will be money related. That's the truth. Either you are praying for yourself or you are praying for your family. For God to deliver you people from poverty. So, as people were getting ready to go for this crusade was being held in an open football field. One man who was financially intelligent also got ready to go for this crusade. And he was living in another city from the city where this crusade was holding. And this man hired a truck. And you know these mobile toilets? These mobile toilets. And then he went to where they rent mobile toilet and rented a lot of mobile toilets. People ask, what are you doing with all these mobile toilets that you are renting? And he rented a lot of mobile toilets, put them in a vehicle, and took them to the venue of this crusade. People started coming from everywhere in thousands. The crusade was an all-night crusade. Late in the night, thousands of the people that came for the crusade wanted to use the bathroom. But there's no bathroom in that field. So they all had to go and queue up to this man who was very financially intelligent. And he knows that you are coming to the crusade to pray to God for a financial miracle, but he doesn't need to pray. All he needs to do is to be smart, that even out of what you do not have, he can take some of what you don't have. And then to use the toilet, 10 rand, each person 10 rand, each person 10 rand, each person 10 rand. To go and use the toilet to ease yourself, the mobile toilet, you pay 10 rand. Now think about if you collect 10 rand from 100,000 people, what happens? You end up with 1 million rands in one night. How did you get it on a crusade ground? Some came to pray for breakthrough. You came to collect your breakthrough. by being financially intelligent. Are you following this? Now, one of the key things that I think is important for me to, because I don't have the whole day to talk to you, is this. Nobody can truly become financially free except you have something to offer that can make people's money move to you. Thank you. Money moves primarily through sales of goods and services. If you don't have anything to give to somebody in exchange for the money that is not in your hands, their money cannot come into your hands. When you go and visit your doctor and he takes you with all smiles and puts you on the bed and punches your bum with an injection, it's not because he likes you to be well. It is because he's going to take your money from you. One of the key things that, I found out that is the key that makes people to prosper is the fact that you must understand that money behaves in one way. It doesn't have two behaviors. The simple behavior of money is this. If you have something to give me, my money will go to you. If you have nothing to give to me in exchange, my money stays in my pocket. I will not let it go. Money obeys one of the laws of physics called Ohm's law. In Ohm's law, there is an equation that says voltage is directly proportional to current, where resistance is constant. I'm trying not to go into too many physics laws because many of us apparently are not physics students. Okay? But it simply means that there is a resistance to the movement of money. There's nobody here now that will willingly just give you his wallet. Everybody protects his wallet. However, if you have something I need, I will be very glad to bring out my wallet to give you the money that you need. And you find out that for you to be financially free, come to the place where you become financially free, you need to have something to offer. You know what mistake students make? And I learned this while I was at varsity. I studied a 5-year course. My year 1, year 2, when I go home and ask my dad for money, I have a long list. And then they take your list, they look at so many things you put on the new jeans, new shoe, new toothbrush, new soap, new whatever, toiletries and all that. My dad looks at the list and says, new jeans, what happened to your old jeans? Strike that off. New shoe, what about the previous shoe? What happened to it? That it's old. Forget about it, it's old. The council, and then what happens? He only approves of what you need to take you to school and for you to just survive. And so you find that most students they simply live on that survival basis. They don't have more than enough. But I found out that there are some students among us as students that just as you are coming to school with that small survival instinct, money they give to you, they are coming to take a part of it. And they will take their part of it legally. They will take it from you legally by you giving it to them. Why? Because they have something you need. They have something you need and they give it to you in exchange for it. There's a guy who was a student in the university. When he got into the university, because he had to take several courses, there were several notebooks that he had. So he said, he after buying all his notebooks, there were so many. So he thought to himself, why should I be carrying 4 or 5 notebooks to school every day? And so he decided to remove the cover of each of the notebooks. And then he put all the 5 notebooks or whatever the number is together. And then he got what they call this gum. Well, some kind of gum, And he said he applied the gum on a plain cardboard, which he had cut to size. And then he put all the books that he had stripped off the back, all the 4 notebooks. And then he glued all of them to one book. And then he said, before he glued them, he had printed another page where he drew his timetable, the timetable of all his courses. So he did it, and then he stuck that inside the book, and then he bound it with a hard-covered, cardboard. And so, rather than carrying 4 notebooks to school, he had just one book that was a little bit bigger than everybody else's. And then he walks into the class, and all his friends are like, hey, where did you buy the book from? Where did you buy this book from? This notebook, where did you buy it? And then we have been teaching on financial intelligence. And he said, it occurred to him that this is a business opportunity. And so he said to them, no, I can supply you. I can supply you. And his colleagues, students in his class, started placing orders for a book that he simply made because he just wanted to create convenience for himself. So he said he went back to where he bought the original notebooks, bought same notebooks, tore off the backs of all the notebooks, and left only the white pages inside. Put all of them together, glued them. The next day he delivered. As he delivered, other people in the class were like, can we have as well? Before you knew what's happening, this guy, he was a student. As a student, he became a supplier of high demand notebooks on campus. He no longer needed support from his parents. As we speak today, that guy's books became such a national, selling material that there are 13 universities where he has distribution outlets of these simple books that he simply just made by himself and people wanted it. Anything that you have, idea, concept, initiative, anything you can do with your hands is your key to making the money that is not in your hands move into your hands. Now, I know that some of you, the way you think right now is, no, I just want to finish school, and I just want to find a job, and I just want to work in an office. And your mindset about money is sitting down in an office in front of a computer with a mouse, and at the end of the month, collecting the salary. That's how your head thinks. Now, that's why many people are poor. Because you can never become truly financially free if you do not own your own business. You see, if somebody employs you, there is no company that will employ you today and will promise you to solve all of your problems and all your family's problems. Because only God knows the kind of financial problems your family has. So what do? They fix your salary. Say you're a trainee, 8,000 rands. And you are very happy. 8,000 rands every month. Hey, glory to God. You are very happy because they put you on 8,000 rands. And then you check your problem, the load that 8,000 rands needs to carry every month. Your house rent is 3.5. All right? After your house rent, maybe you get a car, 2.5. How much is that? 2.5 plus 3.5. What do you have? 6,000. And then how much your salary is 8,000. You have 2,000 left. And then you have to eat. You have to buy groceries. So what happens at the end of the day, even though you are working, you are broke by the 15th of every month. Go and ask those people you see driving cars and working, so to speak, in those places. Most of them are broke by the 10th. In fact, some people by the 5th of the month, they are broke. You know why? It is because it hasn't dawned on us yet that to be truly financially free, you need to own your own business. And what does it mean to own your own business? It is simply thinking about, what do I have that I can sell to this guy? In case you don't know, let me tell you something. Everybody sells something. Come on, let me together. There is no money-making avenue that is not related to somebody selling something. Are you familiar with this? When you go into a hospital, what are they selling? They are selling medical services to you. It is not because they like you and they want you to be well. Don't pay your bill and see whether they will treat you. Are you listening to me? If you have a court case now and you call your lawyer, the reason why the lawyer decides to come and help defend you in court, it's not because he wants you not to go to prison. If you don't pay the legal fee, you may not see the lawyer. He knows they are going to condemn you, but he'll tell you, if you don't bring the money, I'm not leaving this place. Because he is simply selling legal services to you. When you walk into Checkers, what do they do in Checkers? Somebody say, well, you know, I work in Checkers. You are not working in Checkers. You are working in a sales outlet. What Checkers people do, they are basically selling food. Come on. What does McDonald's do? McDonald's is simply selling food. What else do you think they do? They are food sellers. If we need to call them exactly what they are, food sellers. Now, you may not be able to sell food on the level of McDonald's, but you can start selling food small. You know, especially on campus like this, where students get hungry, 12 o'clock, they are all, half of your school is hungry. You can have your own specialized Buddha bus rolls, organized in a nice packet form with a brand on it. You put your own brand. You can call it Angel's Rolls. Are you following? Angel, you missed that. All right. And you have somebody coming to deliver it. And everybody's, oh yeah, Angels, what's happening with the rolls? You didn't bring the rolls today. And it looks like it's a very insignificant thing, but you are actually making a lot of money daily. Money is moving to you daily. Now, if money moves to you daily, there's no way you can be broke. Everybody sells something. All right? When you look at police people on the road, do you realize that they are selling security services to you? Someone say, well, Pastor, I don't pay them for it. You do. Your tax is what pays for it. You pay them, of course. Government will not allow you to pay the police directly, because if you pay them directly, there will be a problem. So government will take the money from you, and then they will pay the police. Are you following? When you go into the salon to make your hair, they are selling hairdo services for you. In my house where I live, there's a lady that comes there to clean for me every week. That lady comes in, she's smiling. How are you, sir? I'm good. And how are you? And then she goes in there, cleans everywhere, and then don't give her money and see if that smile will still remain on her face. She's not being nice because she likes you and she likes to clean your house. She is selling cleaning services. Everybody sells something. An accountant in an office is not just an accountant. No, you are selling accounting. In fact, if you're working in an office, what you actually are is a time seller. You are selling your time. What happens is that the company buys your time. 8 hours every day, you must come from 8 to 4 every day. So what they are doing is that they are buying your time. They are time buyers. You are a time seller. And that's actually the worst commodity to sell. The worst product to sell is time, because you can never replace sold time. I can sell Buddha's rolls to you. After selling it, I can go to Pick and Pay and buy another one and come back and sell. But if you sold 8 hours, where are you going to get that 8 hours back from? Are you following this? Most people at varsity, once they graduate, they don't know, but subconsciously, they go into time selling. And once you are a time seller, you will always be cheated. Because, let me tell you something about business owners and entrepreneurs. Why you need to start thinking about having your own business. If you're truly going to become financially free, think about it. There's only 24 hours for everybody every day. Is that correct? Now, I own a business. Okay? Let's say I own whatever business. You're looking for work, right? And then I employ you. And when I employ you, what I've simply done is I have bought 8 hours of you, of your daily time. Now I buy 8 hours of your daily time. You You are buying 8 hours of your daily time. You are buying 8 hours of your daily time. Now, don't forget, this business we do, we need time to be able to generate products, to generate money. My time alone cannot generate the money the company needs to generate. So I buy time from 10 of you. If I buy 8 hours from 10 people that are employed, how many hours do I have? 8 times 10, 80 hours. I still have my 8 hours. So what do? I use my 8 hours to manage the 80 hours. By the time we make our turnover at the end of the month, I give each of you 5,000 rands. 5,000 times 10, 50,000. Total turnover of the company is 450,000 per month. So I gave you 50,000, I keep 400,000. What do you call that? That is called being paid just enough to get by. And one thing about if you are not the one that owns a business, you cannot decide today that tomorrow you want to increase your salary. Your income is controlled by the boss. That is why it is important for you to start thinking that if you're really going to be financially free, you need to own your own business. And you can start small and grow big. Are you listening? There are others who just simply think in a straight line. All they're thinking about is, I just want to graduate and then get myself a job, and then you get a job and you sit on that job. But if you're a Christian and you read the Bible, you're going to find out that there was a reason why God put, the Garden of Eden, when God created Adam, the Garden of Eden, God put 4 rivers to feed water into that garden. There were at least 4 rivers. The question is, why 4 rivers? Why not 1? Why not 1 river? The problem with having only 1 river feeding water to the garden is, if there is a drought and that river dries up, what happens to the garden? The garden dies. But if there are 4 rivers feeding water into it, when 1 river dries up, the other 3 will still be supplying water. When 2 dries up, the other 2 will still be supplying water. But before all 4 rivers will dry up, rain would have fallen. The same thing it is financially. If, for instance, your plan or your idea is graduating from school and getting a job, are you there? The day they sack you, that's the river has dried up. What happens to you? You go back home broke. You sit at home. But if you have businesses, you have your own business by the side, even if you lose your job, your business can still keep you going. Are you following? Now, it's very, very important for us to understand that if you really want to be financially free, we need to come to that point where we start thinking outside of the box. Money moves. For it to move to your house, you need to have something to make it move. You can cry from now till tomorrow. It will not move by crying. You can go from one church to the other and submit prayer requests. It will not move by that. You need to have a product. You need to have an idea. You need to have a business initiative. You need to have something that you can give to make money move. Are you following this? I wish somebody taught me this many years ago while I was at university. When you are in this stage of your life, you don't value the need for you to begin to think in an independent mind. Because you still have parents that take care of you. You still have your aunties that are taking care of you. You still have your cousins and you are dependent. So your mind doesn't work the way it's supposed to be working. That's the problem with many people in university. They think, well, I don't really have any problem, My aunties are there, I have uncles working in Chevron, whatever. But when you look at people there are people that are our age mates that are millionaires as we speak. How did they become millionaires? How old was Michael Jackson when he became a billionaire? Michael Jackson became a pop star at 8. How many of us are older than 8 here? How old are you? How much is in your bank account now as we speak? Do you even have a bank account? Why do you think your bank account cannot something powerful at this stage, it is because we walk with a limited way of thinking. We feel, well, I'm just a student, let me just finish. You know, there's a lady in our church, one of our churches in Africa. She was a student in the university. Her father passed on, and her mother had married another person. She had to fend for herself. And this lady, you know, what she usually does, she would go to the bakery and she would ask the people that are producing the bread to give her this bread. She would take the breads in the early mornings to outlets that she had sourced. And she would distribute those breads through those outlets, make her income. She was making on the average of 1,000 rands every day. Average. She doesn't sell 1,000 rands profit. She was a student. She does this between 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. to shock you. By 8 a.m., she has come back, dressed up, and she's in class like everybody in class, taking lectures. People are saying, hey, she's no money, you can't buy the handout, I can't pay for this. She does this and that. God will help you there. She did that all throughout her days as a student. While she was still a student, she came to me one time because I'm a pastor. She said to me, Pastor, I'm planning to buy a property. I want to buy a property. Do you have the money? He said, yes, by the grace of God, I have the money. I'm not talking of loans, cash, of the money she has saved, because she didn't allow herself to be limited with thinking of the fact that, oh, you know, I'm just a student. Just a student. There are many things you can do as a student now that can cause your finances to go to the next level. It's just that you need to use your mind. Use your mind. Are you there? I know a lady in this town. She goes to Chinatown. You know Chinatown? There's one type of belt in Chinatown. She goes there, she gets the belt, she gets a matching bag. She puts it on Facebook. All her friends, ooh, hey, where's that? Ooh, you know, and she one day I saw her. She had bought the belt and the bag, and she was taking the pictures, and I was just laughing. What are you doing? Arranging belts and taking pictures. She's like, no. She's taking the pictures because she needs to put them on Facebook. Facebook was her shop. As we speak right now, as we're talking now, this lady, where she started from, is buying belts and bags in Chinatown here. As we speak right now, she flew out on Monday to Guangzhou, China. She's in China as we speak now. She's returning on Monday next week. It's a young girl. It's not somebody that has two heads. How did she start? She started just simple on Facebook. What do you do on Facebook? You just go on Facebook and go, look at your head. No, you don't know. That's what you do on Facebook. You just take selfies and post it. You know, that's what you do on Facebook. But there are people on Facebook that are making money. The essence of this discussion is I want to shake up your mind. I want to challenge every one of us here. I want to, maybe next time when I come back for this GBR session, I want to hear that, Angel, you already have a business. Everybody here already has their own business, and you already have your own car. Who says you cannot buy your own car? Who says you need a loan to buy a car? Who says you need a loan, to be able to get things to work? Who says you are too small? Are you too small to drive a car, brother? There are girls you can ask her now that they don't listen to you. Because you are trying to But if you have a business idea, then they can easily offer it. You want to ask a question? questions so that those who have questions, a few questions they can be able to. Yes, ask me a question.
Where did you get that book?
Physics.
Yeah, but where did you get it?
You want it? We have some here.
How much?
It's 100 rand.
Okay, where did you get it?
You can get it. They're here. I think they're somewhere. Where's the? Where's the other one?
Well, then that's taking my money.
That's the issue. But the thing is this takes your money, but shows you how to ensure that that money that you put out on this comes back to you multiplied values.
Okay, but then if you don't have the money to pay, then
You can speak with someone. She would arrange.
no, I know it.
You know her, eh?
I know it.
There's a book, there's an audio book. There are two products. The physics, the book, and then the audio book.
I was
You want the book one? Okay. But I like that statement you just made there. That this is going to take your money. So your money is going to move. That's like asking electricity to flow in the air. Electricity. When it's lightning, listen, free electricity that flows in the air is like lightning. When it strikes a tree, it cuts the tree. Interesting. I like your audacity or the guts now. What do you call it? It's very interesting. Now the thing is, if you pay a price for it, you will value it. If you get it free, you will not treasure it. That's the truth. This is not just a tool, this is a tool that will make you financially free. What?
Napoleon Hill.
Think and go rich. You have that. Did you get it? Did you get it free? You stole it from your father, but your father bought it. Next question. Who has a question for me? Yes, please.
Seeing that we are the richest continent,
Talk to me.
I say seeing that we are the richest continent, but we are basically the poorest race. I would like to know, are we economical slaves or mental slaves?
How we can what?
Are we economical slaves or are we mental slaves?
Okay, are we economical slaves or I think we are mental slaves. Because you see, money moves simply through being smart. You need to be able to observe your environment to tell what are the things in this environment that I can use to make money move to me. If I was a student on this campus, I'm telling you, I believe I'll be the richest. Because all of you girls, I will ensure that as you collect your money from your parents, every month you hand it over to me. There are things that people buy, whether you like it or not. 100 rand, 50 rand, 20 rand, you even think they're not broke, they're not rich, you'll be surprised. So what am I going to do? I'll simply go and find out all the things you need. And just look at that sister. I keep looking at her. Look at her. Don't you like it? Very nice. Very, very nice. Very nice. All she needs to do is just get you the attachments. Cheaper version. And your money will move to her. So I think our problem is the fact that we don't think. If you can think, you can become financially free. If you also tell yourself that, look, there is no limitation. There's a young lady who cried into our office. She was working for a catering firm. And then she came crying that they have terminated appointment. She has a car, she needs to pay for a car, she needs to pay for a house rent. But I said to her, but you can cook. Because that's what you do where you work. She was employed to cook where she works as a caterer. And then they terminated appointment as a caterer. I said to her, but why are you crying when you can cook? People eat. No matter how broke people are, including the beggars on the road, they will always eat. Have you ever seen any broke person who is so broke that 3 days he doesn't eat nothing? He may not eat in spur, but he will eat rolls. So I told her, I said, look, where our office was is in a place where there are a lot of companies. I said, look, all these companies here, they have a lot of people that they want to eat pap, not KFC. Well, KFC is selling pap now. Are you following? Well, cook pap distribute it. And she printed some menus, and then she distributed it in all the companies around. She went into some of the companies, started speaking to them that she could be supplying them lunch. And then before you know what is happening, she started a business of her own. She walked from her house, cooked from her kitchen, load the food, put the food in packs. All she simply does is go around distributing. So it is just being able to think, and it will amaze you that you can do that and even earn more than those that are sitting down in front of the computer in FMB. They are just ordinary call center operators. And they feel happy that they're working in. So where do you work? I work in FMB. How much are they paying you? I want to know. The fact that you are being paid 3.5 does not mean that that's all you're supposed to have, if you can think. So we are more of mental slaves, and many of us are lazy and fearful. You know why some people don't dare to do things? Because they are afraid. Say, what if I start it and it doesn't work? What if nobody buys? Why not try first before you conclude that nobody will buy? What if people buy? Have you thought about it? What if they buy? Rather than thinking, what if they don't buy? I mean, if they don't buy, you would have only succeeded in finding out something that they would not buy. That doesn't mean that there are no other things that they would buy. But you need to be daring. You need to be the type of person that is willing to dare, to do what you've never done before. And don't think that the time is not yet time for you to do such a thing. You need to start thinking outside of the box. There's a young boy who, about 8 years old, he used it for some of these adverts on TV. When you see that boy, it will shock you. You are a degree holder, but the kind of money that boy has, you don't have. It's simply using the mind to think of opportunities and telling yourself that, look, I'm going to be rich, and I'm not going to depend on somebody to make me rich. I'm going to start now and walk my way to the top. That's the whole essence of this conversation. One interesting thing about things like this is this, like that book you were talking about, Rich Dad Poor Dad. I was doing a presentation on ETV on physics of money, and the lady that was interviewing me, Cindy, if you watch ETV, morning, whatever they call it. And I was interviewing Robert Kiyosaki. Robert Kiyosaki said, look, people like him, if the economy is going down, he's making money. If the economy is going up, he's making money. He sits down where he is and he's making money. Like people like me, where I am now. I'm here now, spending time with you people, just trying to educate you. As I'm here now, I'm making money. I'm here as if I'm playing, really, because I think I came to play here. That's really what I came to do. Okay? But being here, I have systems that are making money for me without me being there. That's the key. And you have to start from somewhere before you can get to that place. You can't say, well, I wish I can have my own Vodacom. You leave that level. Start from a small place and start growing upwards. All right, next question. Who has a question? Yes, please.
How has your Christian values come?
Obviously, I would say basically that like the whole idea of physics of money came up because as a Christian, I realized that look, a lot of Christians are broke and we like to pray. I don't know if you understand what I'm talking about. We like to pray. When they say they are praying, there's a prophet who's went to that, and things are happening. Christians, we like to go there. And then the prophet prays, and then pours oil on us. And then you're like, yes, hallelujah. Money coming. Money doesn't come like that. I realized that with all the prayers, people were still broke. So I started thinking about how can I help the people that were within my circle of influence. That's how I created Physics of Money. Are you following it? And I found out that look, people simply don't understand how money behaves. Once you understand the behavior of money and you know how to make it flow towards you, then you can make it flow towards you in abundance. One of the things I dealt with in the Physics of Money book here is that I spent time to teach on how to create your own exchangeable goods and services, how to start your own business and grow it, the factors you need to look at and consider, and apart from all the other laws that governs the movement of money. So I would say a desire to see, God's children free was what motivated and helped me to be able to develop this. Yes. Next question. How many of us here have your own business? Can I see your hand? You have your own business. 1, 2, 3. Okay. You don't have any business. Let me see your hand. You are businessless.
I make money now. I
Let me
sell
see your hand.
assignments.
If you do what?
I sell assignments.
You sell salmons. What
No,
salmons?
it's not fraud. When a person needs, like, the template of something, they can just come and ask me nicely, but then that will be my practice.
Are you sure it's not fraud? That's supposed to sell fraud. Well, she said it's fraud, but I don't know.
It's not fraud. I'll give people buy assignments.
What? Assignments.
Yes.
Hey.
Like, you don't think it's that people are careless. And especially like, like with assignments, like you will lose the templates and stuff like that. And the majority of time, things that we do is like this. It's not just giving the templates and stuff.
Is it? Who else doesn't? You don't have a business. Let me see your hand. Why don't you have a business? Talk to me. Let's interact. Why? Is it like it has never occurred to you that you should have a business? Or you feel it's not time?
Capital is a major issue. Like, it's hard to have a business now, but I'm starting, I will do it. But the thing is, I'm supporting myself. I'm paying my own fees. I do not have a groceries. So basically the way it is now, I make enough money just for school fees, but then other than that, I run.
You just sounded the way a typical black person sounds. I don't have enough money. I just make just enough to.
Why are you quit?
But that's the truth. If almost everybody here probably sound like that. But people that actually become financially free, they don't think with a limitation mindset. Once your mind is clouded by the 1,000 reasons why you cannot do something, you will never do it. There's a lady in GBI who, I was with her about 4 weeks ago, and she was telling me that, she's been wanting to start this business, but she didn't have the capital. But she had done all the business plans, she had done everything she needed to do, and then she started believing God for the money. And she told herself she was going to do it. Somehow the money came. What does it cost to start a business? The problem with many of us is that you want to start a business that requires you to start with 100,000 rands. And there's no way you can get it. Even if I have it, I will not give you. That's the truth. No matter how much I like you. Why? Because if you have not successfully started a business with 500 rands, there's nothing that guarantees me that if I give you 100,000, you will not waste it. And it will not be lost. You don't need more than 500 rands to start a business. You can start a earring business with 500 rands. Earrings, see that one in here? Angels' ears. With 500 rands as a student. So it's not the capital. And I know some of you are like, no, Pastor, that's not my line. I don't really want to be known as selling earring. That's not my line. I'm actually an accountant. So I don't really like to be involved in all those. That's where the problem lies. How many of us know honey? You know honey. Honey fashion accessories. You know honey. Have you seen the honey? Do you know honey? Who knows honey here? You know about honey. What do they do? They sell earrings and bangles and necklaces. God asked them how they started. By the grace of God, my wife, she is the sole representative of honey in the whole of Nigeria. God asked them how they started. Chinatown. What are you telling me? Oh dear. If I had time to coach you, if for instance you want to start that, let me tell you something. You go there, you buy the stock. You know the way the Chinese people talk, stock. Stock. You buy the stock, alright, and then you take it to your house. You remove all the Chinese, what they call it, packaging, take them all out. You go to a nice printer. You design your own makeup, Angel's Jewelries. And then you print it. You get somebody, I'm sure there's somebody in this class that probably knows how to do graphics. All right? You do your logo, you print it, you replace it inside the Chinese stuff. What do you have? You have another money there. And you don't need to open a shop to start that. Start from where you are. That's one thing about business. You don't want to start from Santon. You want to start from University of Johannesburg. Start from within your immediate environment. Whatever you know, you have people there, guys, ladies. Make them buy from you. They can buy the earrings. Make the guys buy for their girlfriends. But it's easier to sell food to guys if you're a woman than selling to women. So you just need to think outside of the box and just feel, oh, you know, I can't. My parents are catering for me. That's what GBR is all about. You need to be a business owner. And to be a business owner, you need to start from where you are. Start from where you are. All right. Okay. So who else has a reason why he or she doesn't have? Some people raise their hand like, hey, my brother, you raise your hand that you didn't have a business. But do you have a business? Why don't you have a business? You don't know, hey? You're not creative enough. Angel, why don't you have a business? A business. What about you? Why don't you have a business? You're still thinking of which business? What about you?
I have that idea.
You have the idea. What's your idea?
Like, usually I get so I'm saving like half. I want to buy some.
Like what? What? A pool table. What's a pool table? A snooker board. Do you want to set up a game center or something? Okay. What about you? You are which process? You are still in the process of doing what? Transport. Why don't you start something small? You can easily start. I mean, like a vehicle, buying a car, you know, what type of transport? Yeah, but you need a lot of money to buy a vehicle. You're working with your dad. What about you? You are too lazy. What about you, my brother? You have a business?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Well, it's a whole lot of things, but now I've come to terms to settling into making it one thing. So I'm looking into logistics, and I'm basically looking into site-tipper trucks. There aren't any black people in that industry. It's all dominated by white people and Afrikaners. So hopefully, God will give me the strength to go to DRC, get a direct contract with the mine, things will be sorted out. That's what
you're planning to do?
Yeah.
What about you, my dear? Let me ask you. You have a business. Why? You don't have the money. But do you have an idea? So your problem is not money. Your problem is idea, because ideas will generate money. You can't put money before ideas. You need to have an idea of what you want to do. What about you, dear? You don't have business idea or money. You don't have an idea. You don't have a business. You don't know what to do, or you never really thought about it. You should start thinking about it. I think think that's the way to go. What about you? You've never really thought about having a business. What about you, dear?
I have thought about it. Basically, there's a case where we go, me and my friend, we buy very very cheap clothes, and they're very stylish. Like I trend to, I wear vintage things. So yeah, I go there and I get them very cheap, maybe 30 rands, 40 rands, and then yeah, some people they came and asked me where I get them, and then I tell them where I get them. So that you spoke about it for it, they can get it from me. I can get them there and then I make profit like that.
That's very good. That's actually the whole concept about making money. You need to find out what some people don't know